I think a normal response from a Drake fan after the snitch god had his lawsuit dismissed would be something like, you know what? I'm just glad this is all over so we can get back to talking about music. I'm just glad we can all agree that everything said in those disses was merely opinion, and then I would go on about my life. But instead, I'm seeing tweets like this.
There's always a black man waiting by the gate, ready to fetch, ready to bow, the houseboy doing the white man's bidding. Right, Kendrick? We all know who Lucian's bestie is from the start. History repeats itself. Mike J, Prince, Whitney, all bright flames dimmed by the same pale hands that fed on their brilliance. But Drake did what no other dared. He went to war with the industry, looked the system dead in the eye and didn't blink. And when the smoke cleared, the lies fell apart, lawsuit dismissed. If there were truth to the filth they threw of pedo, the law would have moved swiftly, but their silence spoke louder. The pedo tale died where it was born, in fabrication. Your day will come, midget man, just like all other black lives, so that the world knows I stand where truth stands. Forget the fake system, forget the foreign hands that meddled, but hear this clear: if Drake signs back with UMG after all that, a man's gotta have a code. Hate has no place in a home. Only loyalty does. Heart hands emoji. Drake, you're the best ever. They can't take away your greatness.
Nurse!
Derapy.
That tweet was from an account on Twitter that goes by Industry Politic, and this tweet that calls Kendrick Lamar a houseboy and said, your day will come just like all other black lives, it just has me bewildered. The behavior is concerning. Mike J, Prince, Whitney, all bright flames dimmed by the same pale hands that fed on their brilliance. Ma'am, we're literally waxing poetic about a man who sued over name calling. Please get some fresh air. We have another human, at SKYYHH. I'm not saying these names so you go and bother them. Please don't. I just want you to know that, I think these are real people.
Drake is such a permanent part of the game that even when he breathes different, the whole world feels it. One post, one lyric, one move, and everything starts shifting. It's bigger than music now. His presence sits so deep in the culture that you can't escape it. Whether you love him or hate him, he's not just in the spotlight. He is the light that everything else moves around. Brother, are these wedding vows?
When I was in high school, I used to send texts like this to my 16-year-old girlfriend. I'd say things that her smile reminded me of Christmas. I compare seeing her to the joy I get seeing penguins at the Tennessee Aquarium and how much of a gift it was. But I was a young boy talking to a young lady, and y'all are out here talking about Drake like he's Nelson Mandela, Malcolm X, or maybe he's the love of your life, or maybe he's a chess grandmaster. This post from r/Drizzy literally says the lawsuit did what it was supposed to.
It got dismissed.
I'm still happy about the outcome and what came from the lawsuits. The biggest thing I couldn't stand, which I think was the huge reason for them in the first place, was the botting shit. It really raised question about falsely inflated numbers and how corny that is. Still don't think it's a coincidence how other dudes' numbers completely tanked once Drake was shedding light on the fake listens just to make it look more popular than it really was. I think the whole thing shed light and made people aware of what's happening in the industry and just how against Drake these people and companies are. I think the funniest and most ironic thing is how much coverage this is getting and how everyone's acting like they're celebrating this. Meanwhile, they're still playing all of Drake's music, clearly, because his numbers have gone nowhere. And these same cornballs will be there listening to Iceman when it comes. They try so hard to act edgy like they're against him and behind closed doors, listening to him. All it ever is. They don't realize they keep him as relevant as ever, giving so much attention to this.
I think Drake fans are actually under the impression that if you talk about somebody, that means you are actually secretly a fan of them and listening to their music secretly. But honestly, whenever I see more news about Drake and this lawsuit, it just kind of makes me want to run back Not Like Us because I know how upset he is about it. I actually hadn't listened to Euphoria in weeks, maybe even a month or two. And I was like, man, he said he hated his what and his what?
I hate the way that you walk, the way that you talk. I hate the way that you dress.
He sounded so angry when he said it that time. A really funny thing happened. I was looking through r/Drizzy to see what the general take was on the lawsuit. And all of the ones that are the most embarrassing and most ridiculous, even if they're really long and well thought out and are very obviously from Drake fans because they're referencing very specific things in the Iceman episodes, they might get deleted before I even get the chance to get them in the episode. Do you know how embarrassing the cope has to be for the people that are running a fan page to be deleting posts that make them and the artist look bad? It's really sad, but it makes it even funnier when you find a post that they think sounds more rational, but still has a pretty ridiculous amount of cope in it.
Chess, not checkers. Some W's in this lawsuit.
The highlights from this post are them claiming that Drake is playing the long game and his plan is to buy Kendrick's music.
I also think the lawsuit did what it was supposed to do. He wanted to see Kendrick's contract, which I believe his legal team was able to have access to. He clearly said in first-person shooter, I really hate that you've been selling them some false dreams, man. If your pub was up for sale, I'd buy the whole thing. I don't really think this shit over. Drake playing the long game, but at the end, we all have an idea of what his goal is here. Owning Kendrick's masters.
I don't even really understand what the game plan is. Is the idea to like buy Kendrick's music catalog so you can like delete Not Like Us from streaming platforms? It's too late. It's just too late. Please give it up. Apparently, Drake's team is also looking to file an appeal so we can keep this clown show running. I would assume the last thing a rational Drake fan would want is for this thing to continue, but we have more evidence coming from Drake fans that this is just another brilliant chess move. At Muller Nadia on Twitter says,
Drake has achieved a massive victory. The judge dismissed the case, revealing Kendrick's accusations as total lies. Clearing Drake's name of the pedophile smear campaign, the rap game is elevated and his position as the titan of hip-hop is solid. The real power plays the appeal.
Nothing says titan of the rap game like a court appeal. I've never seen more sore loser behavior from any fan base in all my years. But they got more. This is a thread, okay? Let's just let them cook. Maybe we're missing something.
Ken hoes and haters running around cheering UMG thinking they won. The real fight begins on the appeal. The power move Drake's law team aimed for.
Get it together.
The judge dismissing the case did not mean Drake's case is trash. It meant let's get Kendrick the lies out the way and focused on UMG. 1. The judge basically said your case is not trash. 2. Drake's lawyers get to dive into the real argument. 3. UMG expected this to be over. It's not.
Never.
They gotta spend more money. They gotta stay in court longer. 4. Drake's team moved strategically and they're coming harder. This dismissal was just a speed bump to put things on pause and get that pipsqueak. Fraud Kendrick the f*** out of there with the lies. UMG wanted to go home. Instead, they asked, we back in court. That's a Drake victory. His name cleared of pedophilia. That's a Drake victory.
I think these people just like the idea of Drake's lawyers getting a bag at this point, because otherwise you should just desperately want this to be over. Also, something I've been seeing a lot is how because the judge said a diss track is based on opinion, Drake fans are saying this proves that Drake doesn't like him young, as if people who think Drake is a freak saw a judge throw his case out and were like, maybe he didn't text Millie Bobby Brown that he missed her when he was in his 30s and she was still learning how to drive. Maybe I just imagine that. Maybe he didn't kiss that 17-year-old when he was in his 20s. I mean, the judge did say that the song was just an opinion. I mean, the judge did say that Kendrick Lamar was literally just responding to the thing that Drake asked him to do. Maybe none of it's real. If you're anyone that cares about this, I beg you understand that regardless of what happens in this courtroom, with this lawsuit, with this appeal, none of it is going to diminish the impact of Not Like Us. If anything, it just draws more attention to it. It reminds everyone that Drake is spending his hard-earned dollars trying to prove, I don't know, I guess that the song's just not as popular as you think it is and that he's not weird, and it's just too late. Now, I could make fun of random Drake fans all day, but I think you'd agree maybe that's a bit unfair. Maybe I'm just cherry-picking weirdos, but we do have alleged hip-hop journalist DJ Snackademics. This person has an audience of tens of thousands, maybe even hundreds of thousands of people. They're very tapped into what's going on in hip-hop media. BJ Snackademics owns a Twitter account called Academics TV with over 170,000 followers. Wow! And they posted a video with a caption that says, Drake's ruling in court has now set a new dystopian precedent. Music labels like UMG can legally spread a defamatory narrative about an artist and call it opinion without being tested at trial. They did it to Drake, they can do it to anyone.
Oh, bro.
And there's a 5-minute video attached with some white dude saying that UMG basically has a license to use any artist to tear down any other artist via diss track, as if UMG made Kendrick diss Drake. Buddy, with all due respect, this was an unprecedented series of unfortunate events for Champagne Sloppy. These dudes exchanged like an album worth of tracks, okay? They also didn't make Drake use Tupac's voice to ask Kendrick to quote-unquote defame him. The lack of accountability is staggering. Nowhere do I see any owl bots being like, hey, you know, maybe harping on the thing that you asked him to do was a bit of a misstep. Like, there's none of that. It's all just goalpost moving or deflection or declarations of love.
Y'all are really cheering on a record label? So you're saying anyone can just say anything in a song?
Drake is the twinkle in my child's eye. His light will shine forevermore. Why would you think this is the end? Drake is light Yagami. He's 69 moves ahead. Please go take a walk. It's embarrassing. Unless there's more news breaking about this, I am done talking about Drake's courtroom drama. Unless this video gets 2,000 likes in the next 24 hours.
Yeah, like the video.
Then we'll go live one time, we'll read the dismissal and laugh, but otherwise, I'm done. That's all I have for you today. Drake fans, please do better. Love you, mean it, spread the bread, enjoy the outro.
Just make sure you hide your little sister from him. They tell me jokes, the only one to get your hand-me-downs and party at the party, playing with his nose down. If Vodka got a weird case, why is he around? Certified lover boy, certified pedophiles. Walk, 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 walk. In the walk, why you drooling like a whole ancient time? Trying to strike a chord and it's probably your mind. And it's probably your mind.